special and Final Fantasy Randomizer with LordFizzlebeef versus ShadowWalker. And in our first White Mage shop, we've got Fade, which is gonna be huge at the early game here. And we've got these rainbow parties tonight, which is gonna make it magic heavy. We've got these black belts, and that is a product of the picks that FizzleBeef and ShadowWalker have made tonight. It's not going to be a lot of hitting, but a lot of magic. And we've got chain armor in the Caneria armor shop, so that's nice. An easy buy there. ShadowWalker looking at the item shop in Caneria, but things are a little too expensive. Just got enough for an in-stay, and Beef is going to be the first one on the way up from Caneria. So, Beef sees the inside of Garland's castle first. Garland's castle. What am I thinking? Temple of Fiends. And Faye's making very quick work of everything. ShadowWalker having a little bit of a harder time on the way up. Getting some poison imps. Never any fun. We've also got Zap that we picked up in the Black Magic shop. So really pretty well equipped for the Temple Fiends. Don't want to use all your magic charges right away, obviously. So you have to deal with these sets up of bones. But nothing probably going to be too much of a problem. ShadowWalker picking up his 1,857 gold. Always handy. And we've got 3k gold and some iron gauntlet. Alright, so here's Garland for Beef. A quick zap comes out, nothing much. And then here's the Fade. Oh, but Garland has slightly more HP than 151, but a quick zap takes care of that. So we've got Cabot and Adamant coming out of the King and the Princess. So not a particular direction there, but Beef will figure it out. Good options. Head over to Caneria, or sorry, to Provoca. I'll just get everything wrong tonight. And we've got Pures coming out. Beef is going to be doing his shopping, and ShadowWalker takes care of Garland for him. A little bit behind, but not too much. Under a minute, maybe around a minute. Picks up his Adamant. Okay, so Beef's heading west. He's going to come around and check out what is going on in the Dwarf Cave. ShadowWalker doing his shopping. At least houses aren't too expensive. Cabins are a little pricey, are they? 700 soft. Alright, Beef checks out the easy chests at Dwarf Cave. Nothing special in there, but we get to turn in the Adamant and we find out it's Herb. So that will let Beef continue counterclockwise. Or at least give it a shot and see what's there. And ShadowWalker, a couple minutes behind now. Doing the same turn-in, will find the Herb. Okay, and Beef checking out Marsh because that's incentivized tonight. And with Fade and Zap, not really going to have too much of a problem popping in there. It'll be a quick dive. And Beef making pretty quick work of this. Here's a house, no big deal. You want to preserve your charges, but really not getting a lot of encounters here, which is super nice. That ShadowWalker doesn't bother, and he's going to get the floater from the Elf Prince, which is probably a pretty good move. Except for the fact that ShadowWalker doesn't have any canoe. So, we'll see what's down in the marsh for Beef. ShadowWalker finds... Excuse me. ShadowWalker finds Melmond, runs into some pirates in the middle of town. You never like running into pirates in the middle of town, but hey, you've got Fade. Not the end of the world. Here's some free XP. Oh, but wizards with cremate find Beef and ruin his marsh dive. You can probably get down there pretty quickly, and he's having another nice big run. Load counters. And ShadowWalker finds a farmer. Always good to say hi to your local farmers. Pay them some respect. They make, you know, milk, eggs. Well, in Melmond, they probably just farm zombie rutabagas or something. That's probably a thing. Okay, so ShadowWalker realizes he's a smart move here is going to be coming into Marsh behind Beef. Probably didn't save too much time, really, going over to pick up that floater, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Beef checking out all the chests down here. Ice sword, always nice. Ice is nice. That's what I say. Okay, here are those cremate wizards. Now they've got sleep. Did they have sleep last time? Is that what happened? It's not ice. It's the opposite of ice. Alright, yep. Wizards take out Beef again, but he dives right back in. Taking the bet that it's the right move, and it is here. So, good thing. Persistence pays off. And it looks like we have a Wilkliosis in here.
I'm here, Cat Doctor. I'm on my way. I'll be right there.
No problem. Alright. And ShadowWalker's down in here. Beef. Both making their way through the Marsh Cave. ShadowWalker hasn't had the wizard experience yet, which is my upcoming live tour. I hope everybody shows up. Alright. Doing some equipping. Fighting some scums. No wizards on either side. No enemies. And ShadowWalker runs into a force wizard fight on the chest. Runs, doesn't see anything, and gets key. That's nice. ShadowWalker potentially can immediately run over to lock chests here if he wants, but it looks like he's not going to bother. He's going straight out. Hitting some scorpions. This is going to be a big win for ShadowWalker if Beef continues to run into Wizard Hell. But, nope. It's all good. Beef gets his key. Makes the decision to head straight out himself. He's going to stop and maybe pick up that ice sword again. Stinger Mucks, not making things nice, but no big deal. We're good. We've got some pures. One party member dead. Ice sword. So now ShadowWalker is a little bit of ahead now. A little bit ahead with that herb turn in, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Beef getting mashed by wolves again. Oh no, and they've all got cremate too. Oh no. Oh, fire 3. Oh man. Alright. Beef gives up on the Marsh Cave. That's gonna be rough for him. Hopefully he can come back from that. He's gonna head over to the Elf Castle here. Turn in the herb. Be a little disappointed. But hopefully the walk will help him clear his mind. Man. Okay, so ShadowWalker's out. Seeing some wolves. Having a little heal party here. Okay. Beef ran into some stone situations here. Now getting mobbed and Melmond, really just not having the kind of time you want to have. ShadowWalker is able to open up some lock chests. Nothing special there, but 5k gold, always nice. Early game. Picking up some armor or checking it out. Not too much there in Zozo Melmond. We've got Invis 2 life at White Magic. So it's good to know. And Beef is making his, hopefully, successful run here on Marsh. If he can get this to go as quickly as Shadow got it to go, then it's really fast, but it's just not working out. Just getting beat up, beat down. Oh, and he takes the reset. Just gonna try again. Shadow checking out Northwest Castle locked. Nothing there, really. Takes the reset. He's on his way. Beef, meanwhile, still dealing with bats. ShadowWalker gonna check out the big pile of locked items here in Dwarf Cave. Let's see what's in the chests. Got 4k, got a pure. 14k. Cloth, 5k. Lots of gold. 1 pro ring. Not bad. Nothing life-changing. But he's got time for leisure now. He is well ahead, at least in terms of opening locked chests. But he also hasn't found anything that Beef couldn't skip if he decides he spent so much time in Marsh that he has no choice. So presumably we're going to find something interesting in Loch Canaria. Alright, Beef is on the main floor again. Making the walk. Running into bones. Oh, more encounters, more encounters. ShadowWalker checking out locked Temple of Fiends. And wizards. How's this gonna go for Beef? Oh my god. Alright, he runs. He succeeds. He's got the key. Betcha he's not going to hit that ice sword. No, he isn't. All right, and for those just joining us, what's happened so far? We've got Adamant coming out of Temple of Fiends and the King and the Princess. We immediately, both runners proceeded down counterclockwise. Dwarf Cave, nothing there. Turned in the Adamant for Herb. Got not much out of the Doctor. And Marsh Cave turned out to be the key, which is where we are. ShadowWalker is opening up chests using that key, and Beef is still trying to make it out of Marsh, but it looks like he's gonna make it happen. So, and joining us to continue on is Mr. Wilcleosis.
We made it, Cat Doctor. The Midnight Special is live right here on Speed Gaming. Thank you for joining me tonight. Looks like, from what I saw, no one's checked Matoya's cave.
That is right. Everybody just went west after Canaria.
Looking for progression. The next items that we're looking for, you can see ShadowWalker checking the 3 chests in Temple of Fiends. I think that's a really good idea with the Mystic Key, especially at this point, because this is a little goofy. I haven't seen this type of scenario yet, as he has to Canaria Castle's locked. Good shot at 6 chests here. But also there's the Provoca entrance. There could be a vendor item there, potentially, as well.
Yeah, we'll see what's here in locked. We've got a few items here. Nothing too special. So
wow, not much.
Yeah, ShadowWalker has now cleared out everything he can clear out with the key that he's got access to. So I think he's probably gonna do exactly what you're talking about now and head over to Matoya's and Provoca.
Yeah,
maybe that was the right way to go the entire time, and they're gonna be disappointed about that.
It could be. Now, the vendor item can't be the canoe or the ship. So that's actually out the window at this point. I can only think that potentially the ship is located in Matoya, or the town of Provoca has been shuffled to potentially like a Crescent Lake type scenario, where potentially the sages have a canoe or a ship, because it's got to be one of those two to open it up. Both players already have the floater, so that'll really open it up real fast. And I've got to think that once each player gets to that type of destination, they're going to feel way behind, Cat Doctor. I know I would.
Yeah, well, Beef is already going to feel pretty behind. He spent many a time trying to dive into Marsh. He spent, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 tries to get that key out of there, whereas Shadow was able to just dive right in there, pick up the key, dodge past 2 wizards, and never see any of the terrible crap that killed Beef repeatedly.
Yeah, they definitely had a hard time in Marsh Cave. Let me know how this is, Brilliant. As ShadowWalker is making his way to the original Provoca entrance. This is a town. It's going to be shuffled, and it's Provoca. So that's Bicky, and that's a key item.
That's handy. So maybe it's the ship here. Maybe we've got Vanilla Ship in Vanilla Provoca, and ShadowWalker picking up a little bit of magic, checking it out. We've got Nuke in level 2. So, Fade and Nuke. We're well stocked up for magic. The puzzle for the runners is going to be figuring out where everything is.
What do you think, Cat Doctor? What does Bicky have? Is it the ship, just like the olden days?
Yeah, it's
canoe
be the ship at this point. Well, it could be canoe. You're right.
I think it's one of the other. I gotta go with the olden days, like it's a ship. ShadowWalker fires a fade to the pirates, and there's Blizzard from the mummies. That takes out Lord Fizzlebeef. He's perished.
Just rough for Beef.
It is the canoe.
Oh,
Given
right.
the canoe access and the floater access, ShadowWalker sees it at the 20-minute mark. He's not behind, but I've got to think that he feels, oh no, you know what? I got to do something to maybe catch up. He doesn't need to. He can't know that. We'll see what he does. He sells the flame armor. Selling the gold, sells the flame armor for gold bracelets. He doesn't really have a use for that flame armor.
Nice bracelets, though. Always good to be fashionable. Alright, Beef. Slowly making his way up, and ShadowWalker is taking a little canoe trip. And he is got some good momentum now with that canoe. He's heading down to Crescent Lake. We'll see what town that is there on the shuffled town setting. And he's going to be in the air in the next few minutes. Crescent Lake is...
Lefane. Whoops. That's not going to help very much. ShadowWalker says, I'm out of here. He turns around. He's going to head directly to the Ryukon Desert. Use that floater, get the airship, and get in the air.
Yeah, and he is going to be off to the races at that point. Many minutes ahead of Beef.
Yeah, and LordFizzlebeef struggles getting through the Marsh Cave. He's going to feel behind as well. He's going to check all these chests. He's going to go through the same progression that ShadowWalker already did. ShadowWalker uses his floater. He's in the air at the, we'll call it the 21-minute mark. Gives a big smash into the original Crescent Lake and that new Lefane. He did not like finding that.
It's, you gotta be careful with your ship, though. I mean, this is... Stops to say hi to
and he
everybody.
Bashes into Canaria now. Look at that. It's almost like both players almost are gonna... Now, ShadowWalker's going after the original Provoca. Now he misses it. And round 2, he lands the airship right on the original Provoca.
Victory lap.
Welcome to the Midnight Special, Speed Gaming fans. Cat Doctor from well across the seas. Will Cleos is here. Apologies for getting in a little bit late. Had a few issues getting here. LordFizzlebeef and ShadowWalker227 came right out and said, we want to do this match. Let's have a good time. You know what? We're both in the spring tournament. We've been practicing. Let's get this out there. Let's play that late night match that you and Cat Doctor are so well known for. And Cat Doctor, you couldn't wait to jump in and do this as well. So certainly thank you for joining me as well. And ShadowWalker makes his way to Sarda. It's a free item. It's the crystal.
That's nice. He could turn that into the little old lady. Or evil witch, depending on how you feel about it. And Beef doing his shopping. He's got at least a pile of gold, so that's good. He's going to eventually make his way over to the desert. We've got a loot from Matoya. Not much else there. Opal hat. Nice to have. Keep it on your ship.
ShadowWalker's gonna go to the Volcano. Doesn't go to any Cardia Islands for anything free. Obviously without the tail, probably wants to route that together. But I think he feels behind. No sign of a loose item yet. Is that right, Cat Doctor? 2 loose items, no sign of anything like that?
I don't think there's been any loose items so far. Loose key items.
Okay, the King and Princess Sarah. One gave the adamant, and the other gave the floater? Is that correct?
Adamant, and there was a cabin from the king.
We've got 3 loose items. Okay, this is I don't know if the term is rare, but we don't see this very often. Essentially what happened was, you said the king gave a cabin?
I believe that's right.
Okay, if an NPC in this design, or an incentivized chest or location, such as a Sarda or Castle Ordeal, in the specific incentivized chest, gives a cabin, that is actually something that was given free in the design, which in this case is a bridge or a canal. What actually happened there was that NPC gave the bridge or the canal. It gets replaced with a cabin. That's all fine and dandy as ShadowWalker's down to 2 light warriors and he gets a little bit of levels. Let's see what he does. He's going to try to get this out of here. That's going to push an item, because that wasn't supposed to be there. we're going to have 3 loose items in this match, and if I'm not mistaken, both these players are so well versed and so well trained, I bet you both of them know it once they saw that cabin that came from an NPC. Now, they won't all necessarily be required, because we have a ribbon and there's Blaze from the Peds, ShadowWalker perishes. We have a ribbon and we have a tail, which aren't necessarily required. It's certainly desired, but it isn't something that you absolutely have to get to the end of the game. So we're looking at 3 loose items now.
Yeah, and it's a good point that ShadowWalker might feel behind because he doesn't know that Beef also went west and counterclockwise around the inner sea. So ShadowWalker thinks potentially, wow, you know, I didn't go right. I had the floater. I didn't get the canoe. And Beef could potentially have been in the air in 10 minutes at the 10-minute mark. And it's already 25. So maybe ShadowWalker is just saying, all right, I got to get into this volcano and get things done.
ShadowWalker's going to try again. He knows the contents of the chests, at least some of them, on the 2nd floor. It's a very rich floor, I guess you could say. So then there's those Peds. We know they have Blaze. It's actually allowing LordFizzlebeef to catch up a little bit, because he's got his canoe now. There's Quad X from the Peds.
Quad X Peds.
They got HP too. Look at when Fade doesn't even take it out. There's Dazzle. They're playing with ShadowWalker now. He gets the nuke off. I think that's going to get him. It doesn't even get them all.
That is rough. And he doesn't have that many magic charges to play with at this point, so another set of Peds and he's going to be out. Beef making his way through the rivers on the way to Crescent Lake. He is going to be in the air at least by potentially the 30-minute mark.
ShadowWalker again's down to those 2 light warriors. They're not the most durable. Finds nothing in those 2 chests. He's going to at least check the armory to try to gain some information, but he's in big trouble. He's going to try to zap and fade his way through these 4 Peds. There's the fade. He's going to get the zap off. 1, 2. He got 3 of them.
What a clutch zap.
And he got a break because the Peds attacking physically stuns the white mage, gets another fade off. Oh, it doesn't get it done. There's a zap. That's ineffective. Here comes the Ped. The Ped's going to start fighting back pretty quick. There's the Blaze. ShadowWalker perishes.
Man. Those are some rough Peds. What a set of skills and magic.
It's like the revenge of the Peds. We've been taking them out for so long to try to get so many levels. Every now and then they fight back.
Shadow didn't experience any trouble at all in Marsh with wizards, but he's experiencing a little bit of the same situation here with Peds, so he dies another few times. Maybe the tables will have evened out.
Bangs into the original Crescent Lake, finds out it's Lefane, probably wants to bang it 3 or 4 more times. And he does. He's going after the entire civilization of Lefane. As we heads towards Sarda, we know this will be the crystal that will turn into the required loot.
ShadowWalker doing some chest opening here in the armory, doesn't find anything worth his time. He just resets out. And he's going to head deeper into the volcano, so it wasn't just an armory check. He's in this for the long haul, and he's pretty well equipped with magic, so should be able to go all the way with this.
FizzleBeef bangs into the original Melmon, finds Onrak. Shuffled towns here in the 2019 spring tournament, along with, of course, the free canal. We saw that come into play earlier. LordFizzlebeef is gathering some information. He's headed, taking out his menu. What do I got to do? Hold on, got the crystal. Okay, I'm going to turn this crystal in and get the loot after I bang into Canary. Yeah.
Beef picks up his loot. And let's see where he's headed here. If he's gonna pop into the volcano, do some more checking. Beef is also going to feel extremely behind, but it looks like he is checking out more towns.
Gonna bash into the original Gaia. Finds out that it's shuffled to Elfland. It's a good find, Cat Doctor. Level 3 and 4 magic. Potential vendor item. I don't think we've seen that yet either.
Picks up temper. Vendor item would be nice. Wall and life 2.
Life 2. That's locked to the white mage into the white wizard. White mage is fine. There's a ribbon fine for ShadowWalker. He starts to pay off a little bit for his digging here in the Volcano. It's into our left-hand side.
Grey Worm here to say hi. Not too much trouble, able to run from that. Level 4 white magic, we've got exit, so that's going to make things a little faster for Beef. That he bothered to stop in here and warp. Fire 3, not a bad magic set all around in Elfland. Oxyale for purchase. 21k it looked like. So that's gonna gate off entry into on-rack. So knowing that that's there, yeah, and into the sea shrine. So knowing that's there, that's gonna help Beef. ShadowWalker might have to do a little bit of digging around.
This is interesting. ShadowWalker's really nearing the end of the Volcano. I guarantee he knows that there's 3 loose. He just got a wizard staff. And essentially the second to last chest. Carry, the Fiend of Fire, is weak and vulnerable. As long he also gets the Vorpal. We'll get to that baby in a minute. But that wizard staff, and he moved it down. That makes this carry fight much more doable for ShadowWalker. I've got to think that he's going to risk it and he's going to gamble, and he is. He's not going to go for the red dragon chest. He's going to try to take out the Fiend of Fire carry. He feels behind Cat Doctor. He's going to try to catch up. This is a big move right now with the 32-minute mark from ShadowWalker.
And he's about level 7. Little risky. Some bad hits would take him out, but he brings that wizard staff out right away, and we'll see how this goes.
Does it hit? It does! It does. He's got 2 nukes and 2 fades, and he's got the Fiend of Fire confused. Carrie attacks herself for 10. He's going to continue to fire everything he's got. Carrie attacks herself again for 7. There's another fade. That's the 3rd hard spell. 140. It's good. ShadowWalker's got to be feeling a little bit better now. 33-minute mark. We have our first Fiend and our first Orblet. It's ShadowWalker.
And that was a good play. Gutsy with 1 Light Warrior down. And I think that's going to pay off for him.
We need to keep this in the back of our mind. ShadowWalker felt that he had to skip that red dragon chest with loose items out there. I know he knows it, but it'll probably be last that he has to come back to, and he sacrificed that. Meanwhile, LordFizzlebeef went to Castle of Ordeal. Shuffling through the pillar maze right now.
It seems like a reasonable play at these levels. He probably wants things that he can bet on. And he's not running into anything too crazy here.
He's through the pillar maze. He's on that floor. Is there a loose item in here? We know there's one guaranteed one that should be pretty good. He runs away from the nightmares and gets welcomed by an ambushing man-cats. He's looking, his HP is so low, and those ambush man-cats just took out his black belt. Now they're attacking his red mage. His red mage is gone.
Man.
And he gets away. But he's got a couple life 2 shots. Those are the only 2 he had.
That visit to the Elfland shops maybe is going to be the thing that gets him through here. Let's see what happens.
Or what could be that life 2 was amazing. You think you get him again? Man-cats again ambush LordFizzlebeef. Pounding away, 142, black belt's gone. Now they're going after the white mage. He's going to try to fight him. He's going to use nuke and fade. There's the nuke. It's good for most of them. All of them, maybe? It is. He can't take another one of those fights, though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but at least they're very susceptible to that nuke with their amount of HP, so maybe it's just time to fight through him. No life 2. He's sad about that.
He knows his resources are very depleted. He finds a lot of money, a copper bracelet, ShadowWalker finds Elfland. He's gonna just found life too. Nothing for LordFizzlebeef. What about the incentive chest? It's the non-required tail, and they have black belts. It's kind of a... He's got to get out. He's got to get through this fight now, too. Fires a fade into the zombie dragons. They're weak. Do you consider using everything you've got on these guys, even though he doesn't have much left? He's thinking about it. Look at him. Stare at his menu. What am I doing? He is going to do that. He doesn't have much firepower left.
He's got a fade to come out. He's got a nuke. You can maybe do one more of those. Yeah, he doesn't bother.
We'd like to thank NES Cardinality, someone I've watched from afar from quite a long time with the raid and a huge amount of people. Thank you, NES Card. Welcome to Speed Gaming. Cat Doctor here, one half of the Midnight Express alongside myself, the Infectious Wookleosis. We've got two players that couldn't wait to sign up for this late night match right here on Speed Gaming and show off our upcoming tournament and its flags. This is for the 2019 Spring Tournament for Final Fantasy Randomizer. Tournament starts April 6th. That's a Saturday, as ShadowWalker has entered the Ice Cave and perished already. Instead, he's going to reset and burn off an encounter, try not to run into those other ones. And sign-ups close on April 4th. We'll have a stream announcement of matchups and a lot of fun things to happen on April 5th as well. So that's coming up in just about 2 weeks' time. That'll be right here on Speed Gaming and its family of networks.
And Beef is checking out the Cardia chests. We got a power staff out of there, and we'll see what's in these other ones. We got potentially loose items. There's enough floating around at this point that every chest is potentially a big deal. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker getting poisoned.
He's getting throttled. Damage poison from the sorcerers. ShadowWalker. He's got to feel that, that moment he's leaving. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. He's got to feel like Cat Doctor, that momentum that he got from killing Carrie when he probably shouldn't have, just evaporated with what just happened.
I think it was definitely a good call on his part to just cut and run for the Ice Cave, though. At this point, I would start feeling like the Volcano threw up some roadblocks. You don't know if Beef got the floater immediately or not, so he's gonna check out Sea Shrine. Beef, meanwhile, doing the rounds.
He's going to Sea Shrine. He's got that Oxyale in hand. He went to the original Melmond. Lobsters have Squint. Add that to the list. Who knows what else they have behind that? LordFizzlebeef heads towards the Volcano and changes his mind. He's going for incentive locations. He's going to go to the Ice Cave instead.
We'll
Good
see
luck.
if this works out for him better than it works out for Shadow.
Yeah. There's the wizards.
No.
The wizards ambush him. LordFizzlebeef says no thank you. He sees the sleep spell. How about the pack of undead which ambush LordFizzlebeef? He resets round 3. At least he didn't get ambushed this time.
Wizards, he knows what's up with wizards because they ruined his life in the Marsh Cave.
It's true. So again, LordFizzlebeef gets away. At least he didn't get ambushed. There are wizards on this floor right here. Our players will have to traverse this floor later. It's the same floor, just a different section of it. And there will be wizards on there.
And Beef got a fairly good run. He's on second floor of ice. Let's see if he can keep the roll going. He's also got exit because he's well stocked up now from Elfland.
ShadowWalker has gone right. He's headed towards the mermaids. Given the cabin, especially from an NPC and the ramifications of what happened there, I really like this play from ShadowWalker. As we near the 40-minute mark, he's going to try to dip in and get to the ladies and see what it is that they might have. Runs into a pack of ghosts. Down goes the black belt. Black mage is 1 knee. Red mage is down to 1 knee. White mage still kinda standing upright. He has no spells. He's got not much. Gets a fire 3 off. Does not take out any of the ghosts. They've got at least 250 HP. Here come the ghosts. White mage is gone. Gets a cure 4 off into the black mage. He can still attack. Look at ShadowWalker pause over his menu, trying to figure out how in the world am I going to get out of this. I don't know if he can, buddy. Red mage is gone. Black mage is gone. ShadowWalker perishes. Meanwhile, LordFizzlebeef, was that the slab, Cat Doctor?
That was the slab, and he picked up a katana as well, using a warp trick in the ice cave. So, slab's required, and that's a smart play, and he seems to be getting through the ice cave relatively quickly.
Yeah, slab highly likely, certainly to be required. We might as well call it that, which is what we do, basically. ShadowWalker heads back towards the mermaids, picks up what I believe that was an opal bracelet in that small little off-free chest. He's gotta like to see that. Obviously, re-picked it up. Has a little bit of information about his way to the mermaids, see if he can get there. Unrunnable double gray shark encounter. They got a lot of HP, but he knows he has to take this fight.
Beef checking out some optional chests in here, saying hi to the frost dragons.
We've made this look a little bit easier than ShadowWalker was able to get through. A little bit of RNG. He was in a different place at the encounter table. Those type of things can make all the world of a difference when you're trying to get through any type of tough dungeon, especially with ambushing enemies and wizards that'll wreck your world.
These frost wolves don't like nuke. And yeah, Beef had a much easier time with the ice cave, which is definitely going to help balance things out a little bit more. But when ShadowWalker comes back here later in the game, he's probably going to be at a higher level. Oh no! Oh,
he didn't get ambushed, and he gets initiative. LordFizzlebeef, maybe the tides are turning a little bit at the 42-minute mark for Fizzle. He gets initiative, didn't get ambushed, took out the wizards. Does that fight happen again? We don't know. Meanwhile, things are not going as well for ShadowWalker. He ran into waters. They are runnable. That's the good news. He's going to fire Fade. That's not going to get him after a 320 hit. He's going to try to move forward. He just wants to get to the mermaids and find out what's in here. And he makes it. Gets a helmet, a couple bucks, and a house. Not so much. Uh-oh. Back on the left side of your screen, it's the wizards again. And Fizzlebeef gets away and gets a sun sword for a reward.
Yeah, Beef has to feel a lot better about how these wizard situations are going. Has to feel gratifying after getting so screwed before. Okay, he's got a white shirt.
Brand new white shirt. LordFizzlebeef already knows the contents of this chest. He's got it. He went in, and he's fighting the eye anyway. You ask yourself, why would LordFizzlebeef do this? That's because LordFizzlebeef is going to attempt to rid the world of as many eyes that he can comfortably do. He's going to sit on this tile for a while. He puts the black belt on the bottom. He's going to, I don't know how many light warriors he's going to do this, but he's going to camp here for a little while. He's going to take some time. 3 hits, 3 damage into the eye, though, is a little... That's a little alarming.
Yeah, it's too bad he doesn't have an item of some kind to make this go faster for his black belt, but... throw out some spells, get everybody a little bit of XP distributed around, and maybe he won't be there for 20 minutes.
No key items, which was what ShadowWalker was looking for in the mermaids. He picked up a pretty good sword, Cat Doctor. I'm not sure, that might be one of your favorites. It's called the Masmone.
Absolutely, I didn't even notice that happen. That is
ShadowWalker at least gets that. That's pretty big, especially at this point, the way this match has been going. 4 hits for 98 damage. LordFizzlebeef is rethinking... I know he's rethinking what he's doing just a little bit right now. Maybe he does it for a little bit less time, but he's going to take some levels here. He needs to get something going. Looks like he's going for this type of strategy.
Yeah, this is going to take a little while to get off the ground, and ShadowWalker definitely making some really smart moves so far this game.
Septimus! Welcome to the chat. Always a pleasure to see you and all the Great work that yourself and Cat Doctor, you guys worked together so hard on the development team for Final Fantasy Randomizer, pointing out how much having the Mazmoon would really help in taking out this eye. Certainly not only in efficiency, but in speed.
It would definitely be the right way to go, having that, and then being able to find that eye tile. You would do this much faster, but
yeah.
We'll see what happens here.
No sign of a chime, a cube. We have not seen the rod. No details of the incentivized item in Castle of Ordeal. No sign of a bottle, but sign of ghosts that will smash you. ShadowWalker's lost 2 Light Warriors already against 3 of them. 3 Light Warriors are gone, and the ghosts continue to pound into the White Mage of ShadowWalker. ShadowWalker gets away with a 26 HP White Mage, able to use those Life 2s to resurrect his party. He's headed back towards Kraken.
Yeah, those ghosts have really been giving him a tough time, but he's making it through with those clutch Life 2 charges.
ShadowWalker skipped some chests on that previous floor? I don't think he cleared it, did he?
I don't think he cleared it either.
No.
Maybe the chat can...
Yeah, I think he just did the Sharknado room. We'll keep an eye on that as well. He's got the Mazmoon. He feels that Kraken's a little bit more doable at this point in time. He's trying to make up time, is what ShadowWalker... He feels way behind. Really, he's in fine shape with regards to his one-on-one opponent. Runs into a couple waters, runs away from him. He's closing in, trying to light his second orb.
Yeah, the ShadowWalker skipping some chests here is the kind of play that I would probably have experienced making in the previous league that we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is you think that you're making up time, but potentially later on you find out that one of those loose items that was absolutely required was in a chest that you completely forgot about, or you deliberately skipped, but you now don't remember which loose chest it was that you didn't check.
ShadowWalker he actually had a misclick. He attacked physically with his White Mage. He was able to overcome that. A couple of nukes, a fade, a shot from the Mazmoon, and ShadowWalker made it look easy. He lights his second orb, and he's dirtling around on rack. He's gonna resurrect the Black Mage. Is he going back in? Gonna save and go back in, maybe?
Those chests.
I've got to think that you can't leave that many behind, and he is. He's gonna go to Castle Ordeal, it looks like. Nope.
Meanwhile, Beef is still getting 19 on his hits against this eye with his Black Mage. It's up to level 15, 16.
Yeah, there's a key item boost. What we've got is at 12 key items, the experience goes from where it's at right now at 100% of what it is that we've made it to 150%. LordFizzlebeef does not have that. At this point, he does not have 12 key items. And you know what else? LordFizzlebeef doesn't care. This seed has been so treacherous and so many problems, he's essentially made an on-the-fly routing, an entire game planning decision alteration. He's going to take out this eye as not the most efficient thing. You can see it right now. But he says this is enough, this is what I'm going to do, and he's going to get comfortable for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and there's been many seeds. We've seen it a lot of times where a grind like this does pay off, but it's this is a slow one, I have to say.
We're getting our first look at the original Onrak town. It has been shuffled to Crescent Lake. There's the confused old men. They are not in a circle anymore. Cat Doctor didn't give them their you didn't give them their meds again there, Doc. What are you doing?
They like to have fun. You gotta give them a day off once in a while.
The unrequired Ruby. ShadowWalker did not want to see that because...
Not what you want.
No. You wanted that to be one of the loose items that you wouldn't have to find. That puts more heat on ShadowWalker for potentially like that red dragon chest. I don't think that's what he's worried about right now. He wants to get to the waterfall. More uncharted territory just past the 50-minute mark for ShadowWalker227 as he's going to jump into the waterfall. 6 chests, an incentivized item. Maybe a loose one. I'm feeling a loose one here, Cat Doctor. They got to be coming up soon.
Yeah, they've got to be somewhere kicking around, and hopefully they're in a nice, obvious place like here, and not that one chest out of the few that you skipped in Sea Shrine.
Either runner has gone towards the Earth Cave. The Earth Cave starts to become more important as we don't see a lot of the key items that we're talking about that are loose. I've gotta think that located in this waterfall with the robot is some sort of opening up type of progression item. I'm gonna guess it's the chime, like it used to be.
That would definitely be something that ShadowWalker wants to see, and we're just about to find out. Gotta deal with these mummies. And let's see how this goes here. Quick nuke. Deal with these whiz mummies.
Didn't get all of them. It's gonna get the mummies, but it isn't gonna get the whiz. How about the fade? Is that gonna get... That isn't either. Got most of them.
Expensive mummies. And Beef is still grinding away. Hey, he's gonna be there for a while. He's definitely fully committed.
The contents of those chests, it's a cab and a pro ring. The cube?
You got the cube from the robot and nothing else in Waterfall.
There's the exit from level 4. That's why LordFizzlebeef, I believe, is keeping his white mage standing. That's why I would be doing. Alright, Cat Doctor, now what? If you're ShadowWalker227 on the right side of your screen.
I think it's time to figure out what that ruby does. There could be a few chests hidden by the Titan, and then
okay. You know where you are when you check that, right?
You're gonna start diving into Earth, I think.
You're right by the Earth Cave.
Yeah.
It might be time to jump in there. We know we don't have the rod. And that's why our players haven't gone near that. You want to do it one shot. Who wants to double dip Earth Cave? I'd rather go to the dentist. That might be the play here. Also the Cardia Islands maybe for ShadowWalker. I don't think he's done it. I think LordFizzlebeef did. But I think it's Earth Cave time. No, it's Castle Ordeal. This is a good play for him. We know that it's nothing, but ShadowWalker can't know that.
Right, and it's the right move. You know that's incentivized for sure. And after this, I think, you know, there's a lot of chests in Earth. They're annoying to check. It's annoying. The whole situation is annoying, but you got to do it.
I've made that play a few times in practice to see if it could gain me any type of advantage. I think it worked once, and it really didn't work that well. So it's a gamble.
And Beef killing those eyes, eating eyes all over the place. It's a long road, but you know, he's doing all right. He's getting up there. Now, ShadowWalker's around level 12 at the moment, and in comparison, we've got level 20-ish over here on Beef's side. So he's on his way, picking up a little bit of speed on these eye fights. Well, ShadowWalker making his way through ordeals. He's got some warp charges, which is nice and make this a little faster for him. And Beef is down to about 20-ish heal potions, so he can keep doing this for a little while. Eventually, he's not going to be hit much by the eyes anyway, so we'll see what happens. Blizzard coming out of the mummies here for ShadowWalker.
Oh no!
Oh man! Oh, and another wizard or another blizzard. I almost called them wizards. Wizards are now just the name of death. Well, every little bit helps. Beef. At this point, this another wipe. Both runners here have taken quite a number of wipes.
Yeah, and they've both made a lot of changes. You know, ShadowWalker left the ice cave. LordFizzlebeef kept going. He was able to get through. He's making this move without the key item boost. And both players really adjusting quite well in this 2019 Spring Tournament exhibition match in these flag sets. And they aren't easy. I mean, Cat Doctor, the word I come up with is complex. And this one seems to be on the little bit more difficult side so far for both these players.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting item distribution. You get a little bit more variance than you would have in other flag sets. In the town shuffle, I think it's just enough shuffle where you can find it interesting, and it's not an overwhelming amount of insane shuffling like the floor and dungeon shuffles that we also have as options in the flag sets.
Trying to think of a target level for LordFizzlebeef. I've watched him do this. I've talked with him about it a little bit. But in all the planning and strategy, this seat throws it off like we just talked about. I've got to think. I think he's going to 32. I think he's going to give up that time, which is probably not what he wants to do. But I think it might be level 32 on Punch, his black belt, that he is going for.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We've had some bets going around in the chat here. 21 is a point where you could stop, but clearly he's not. And Edgeworth in the chat pointed out earlier, we've got 21, 32, and 42 for smart places to stop, because those are your break points.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Noctis Vigil, always a pleasure to see you. Obviously, the champion Edgeworth, that's someone you can certainly watch and learn an absolute ton from. We got the E-Taps, always a pleasure as well. ShadowWalker picks up the tail. Another womp after picking up the ruby from the Circle of Sages. He's got to be frustrated.
A little bit more well-equipped to maybe make some time off of these zombie dragons, though, and it looks like he is going to take advantage of them.
When I do this sometimes too, Cat Doctor, you know, I'm taking a couple extra fights on these zombie dragons, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what in the world am I going to do next? What can I do safely? Because I've perished so many times, and you know, what can I do and execute efficient? I think it's what it was that you said. I think maybe it is turn the ruby. Let's grab those 4 chests. Maybe there's something hanging out there. Let's feed the Titan and his little addiction that he's got. I really think the play is Earth Cave.
Yeah, nice thing about a little grind tile like this on the way out of ordeals is it does give you that time to think. There's not much strategy needed here, so you can just kind of go back and forth, make sure he's run through all the possibilities in his head. Those chests he didn't open in Sea Shrine are haunting him.
Yeah, I agree. I would think that the Red Dragon chest is the last one that he goes back to, but it could loom large. While both players are taking some extra fights, trying to prepare for the end game with all the struggles earlier on, we see Zardia, our leader, in the chat as well. Also available on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord, certainly available via FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. It's spring tournament time, and that means you, the fans, get to vote. And we will bring you, after the tournament, what it is that you want to see. We're talking about the bonus stream. The first year, it was 4 Thieves. It was 8 hours. I watched the whole thing. Last year, it was 4 White Mages. Those 2 classes are out. We want to know what class you want to see. Is it 4 Black Belts? Is it 4 Red Mages? 4 Black Mages? Maybe 4 Fighters. You tell us, we will bring you the show after the season ends. After the spring tournament ends, excuse me. And those polls are open. They are available. They're in the chat right now. They're also available in Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. Get out there and tell us what you want to see, and we will bring it to you.
ShadowWalker wrapped up in ordeals, and he is going to do his Ice Cave clear. And not much in here should give him much problem at this point, I don't think.
Now he gets the 3 birds and 1 mummy. That formation shows up and it comes in one of its lowest forms here in the ice cave. What are you gonna vote for, Cat Doctor? What do you want to see for the 4 classes?
Well, I definitely don't want to completely torture the runners, so I think might be something around maybe 4 black mages.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. I'm a big black mage fan, going way back. So
I like it. I'd probably put mine in for probably 4 red mages, more than likely, but I definitely like the black mage. I just like the whole bonus stream idea, the concept, and one of the I don't have to play in it. I get to hang out with you, so. LordFizzlebeef has left his eye extermination. He's gonna resurrect 1. Both light warriors. He's at level 25 on his black belt.
And I think he was out of supplies, so he had to wrap it up. I'm not sure if he actually got to level 32 there, but he can pick up some other experience here and there along the way. Let's see what he's up to. He's been in there so long, I don't even remember what he's up to.
LordFizzlebeef bangs into Elflin Castle and the original Elflin town. He goes into the shuffled town, digs out Melmon. He's translating the slab. Now, I've got to think that there is definitely a potential fetch quest coming up, and it could be here. It could be a slab translation into a talking to the Lithanians with maybe a dynamite type of find that maybe leads to a rod. Something along those lines, potentially, or a bottle that could lead to a chime. A lot of different things that could be out there.
Could be a fetch quest. He could just get handed the chime. Let's see what happens here. It's a quick flight over here to where Lefane is.
Uncharted ground for LordFizzlebeef. He's got to feel behind. He gets the chime. I would go right there. I guarantee that's where he goes, Cat Doctor. No LordFizzlebeef. I know what he thinks. Know how he plays. See if he goes directly there looking for something. He doesn't even have the cube. I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I think you go right in, for sure. And
he's flying due south. Gonna stop off in the shuffled Gaia. Maybe get some supplies.
In the shop.
Heal pots, I think. The Oxyale. Get some heal pots, FizzleBeef. There you go.
And ShadowWalker making pretty quick work of Ice Cave. He's stopping to check out all of the chests in here. Makes sense. Saying hi to the sorcerers. Little Sunsword pickup.
Gonna change from the Ice Sword to the Sun Sword on his Red Mage. You know, Cat Doctor. ShadowWalker, he's holding on to that Vorpal. That thing's beautiful. He wants to put it on that potential, that Red Wizard should he class change in a little bit. He wants to use that Game Changer, but you can't do it. It's class change locked. Speaking of class changing, LordFizzlebeef's gonna do it. His black belt's at level 25. He says, forget it, I want the spells. Probably wants to find a Vorpal and use that. You can understand that, certainly. And he's going to class change. 1 hour, 4 minutes.
Yeah, he's flying past. Might as well check that out, turn that in. Gets you a little bit more access to some spells. Though I didn't see anything that seemed really critical. That was class change locked in terms of spells. And Beef's going to do his long walk here to check out what has been shuffled in here, and if I did the math, I could probably guess.
Gaia. Gotta be. He pauses, checks his inventory. Oh wait, do I have the bottle? Oh, no I don't. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm at least going to get fast for 50,000 gold. Level 7 spell. That's what he wanted, but not much else he's gonna get here. Unless there's some sort of gold bracelets or pearl rings for sale, but I think he's already found those. So it's kind of a busted trip almost, other than fast. Oh, but he's going to check level 8 and find out what he can't, or probably won't learn.
It's not very often you see these high-level magic store checks, so he's really in this for the long haul.
Welcome, Crab Cakes! One heck of a player in Final Fantasy Randomizer, noting in chat that he passed on fear. And that tells me that maybe he's a little afraid, potentially, of a fear spell. He's not going to do that. He's leaving already. The original Lefane entrance that was shuffled to Gaia, running into encounters. Getting a little bit frustrated, I'm sure. But I've got to think he's going to use that chime and head directly to Mirage Tower. He did that last week in the exhibition match. He was in there against Asher, Len the Cat, brilliant and insane, and he went there at like the 19-minute mark.
That is very early to check out the Mirage Tower, but at this point in this seed, I think it's definitely a smart move. There's tons of chests there that you can check out, even if you don't have a cube. And with this loose item, or set of loose items that we have, you don't know. It could be that the cube is sitting in a box right in there.
We've seen it happen. Could be the dynamite that's in there that could potentially lead to the cube. LordFizzlebeef is not going to the Mirage Tower area. He's gonna do the... He's gonna bash into the original on-rack, taking out his frustrations on the new Crescent Lake. After he took that out, he's gonna walk there. He's gonna do the waterfall area, and he's gonna get his ruby from the new Crescent Lake, it looks like.
And ShadowWalker is doing his eye grind, and it's gonna go much faster for him. He's got the Mazmune on his white mage, and he's just holding A to win, and already at level 20 here.
Yeah, this is a huge difference. You see ShadowWalker doing the same thing that LordFizzlebeef did a little bit ago, but this is going down in a completely different way. ShadowWalker has the Mazmune, the versatile Mazmune weapon, the winner of one of last year's polls. As the best endgame weapon, the Mazmune won. It barely beat the Game Changer, but it won. Deals the most damage in the game. Versatile, it can be equipped by anybody. You can put it on Joe Schmo or your best warrior, whatever it is that you want. And this is going to go a lot faster and a lot more efficient for ShadowWalker. He's actually going to gain some time and an advantage for this type of play, which is the same one that his opponent LordFizzlebeef did. And it's really going to help ShadowWalker immensely, I think, in time in this match.
I'm surprised having the Mazmune there, he doesn't just put it on the black belt and let the white mage take a nap, honestly. What do you think about that?
I think it's the same thing that LordFizzlebeef did, and I would do this as well, personally. I actually, Edgeworth, if you're here, I'd love your opinion on this as our reigning champion of the tournament. I would keep the exit, and the reason I would do that was not necessarily safety. It's because this seed has been disastrous, and way too much bad things have already happened, and I want to avoid it. Maybe it's safety, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to die again. And I want that exit in hand, and I want to do that. We also have life 2 on that white mage. I believe it was level 3 or 4. I think it was 3. And we're going to need her later. And I want her alive. And I want her to make sure that all my light warriors are alive in the end game, and I can get that fast off. I don't think he knows that fast is level 7 at this point. And if he wants that fast, he's going to have to keep him alive, because he's probably not going to live very long. I love the play all around for all those reasons of making sure the white mage is still standing right here for all these extra.
All right, you convinced me. Maybe not a bad move. It's definitely going pretty fast though with that Mazmune on the white mage, so it's not a drag really, especially compared to what Beef needed to do to get that grind off the ground.
It's level 24 for these 2 light warriors for ShadowWalker. He's definitely going to take some more. As Cat Doctor pointed out, it's going to be 2 hits from each Light Warrior. He's not going for the 1-hit kill from the Black Belt with the Mazmoon. I would probably do that, but things seem to be working out fairly efficiently. As LordFizzlebeef picks up his cube, that is not what he wanted to see. Along with his ruby from, he's frustrated. I'd be frustrated, Cat Doctor. Would you?
I'm just thinking now about the set of items he's got now, and I mean, I think I would be feeling a bit better now than I did earlier in the game. He's got his grind done. He's got his class change done. He could do Mirage now and go all the way.
We've got a question in chat from Acetone Carrot. Why is the right dude rocking 2 dead dudes? The right dude is ShadowWalker227. You want the question, Cat Doctor, or you want me to take it with the funneling?
Go for it.
Essentially what's happening is he's taking on a single enemy encounter, which is the Eye. You can do it quickly, and he's found a way to do it fairly efficiently. When you have 2 Perished Light Warriors in Final Fantasy 1, all the experience that you gain from this fight, it's going to give about 2,400 if you watch on your screen, 2,455. If he had 4 Light Warriors standing, he would get 1,200 to each character. With those 2 perished characters, instead he's getting 2,400 to the characters that are alive. And he's funneling it to his damage dealer, which is Jim, his black belt, the one in the end game that's going to take out those fiends that stand in his way. And he's obviously chosen the white mage for what we talked about a little bit earlier, more than likely as well. He's bundling experience, essentially, to make these 2 light warriors stronger. I believe the term that I hear the kids use nowadays is OP.
Hello, fellow kids.
I still say set your VCRs, so it tells you what generation how old. That's really I am. Level 27 for ShadowWalker.
I don't even remember what a VCR looks like anymore. Beef is in the Mirage Tower now. We'll see what's in
He made that
here.
play. I want to keep an eye on ShadowWalker. He's considering solo. I saw it. We'll see if he goes for it. Meanwhile, new uncharted ground. LordFizzlebeef enters the Mirage Tower. Dense chests here. He's got the chime and he's got the cube. He can do the whole thing if he wants. Nothing. A light axe. Pro cape is good. Not much. Cat Doctor, not what he wanted.
Still more to check. Still lots to do in here. Got a big pile of mummies, and we know they have some annoying blizzards, things like that. But we've got Fire 3 to take care of those.
Question from Crab Cakes in chat. How many loose items have they found? None. There's 3. I don't believe they have none. I was late to the broadcast. Again, my apologies. Unless they found something that I don't know about, which I didn't see. None. And Princess Sarah the King gave us a cabin. So that gives us the 3 loose. One of them, I believe, is a ribbon. It looks like. But we're missing that rod. We're missing the dynamite as well. We've seen all the incentive items locations. Slab was in ice. It led to the chime. Sarda had the crystal. It led to the loot. The tail was in ordeals. The waterfall held the cube. And the Marsh cave had... Key? Key.
Yep. And that rod, figuring out where that is going to be a little bit of a trick. There are places it could be. For example, it could just be an earth cave.
It could be on your way to it. It could be the vampire chest for all we know.
It could be. The earth cave is, you know, usually a place where something annoying happens, so...
ShadowWalker translates his slab. This will lead him to the chime if he does this entire fetch quest. If you look at this on paper in a broad way, you get 2 orbs lit for ShadowWalker227 right now. 0 for LordFizzlebeef. The real key missing item is that rod. Is it located in Earth Cave? Is it somewhere in the floating fortress? Is it in the Titan's tunnel?
And Beef's party eats some blizzards, like we mentioned, so that's kind of a pain, and he's not really finding anything in here.
Wow. FizzleBeef exits, saving, he's going back in.
And ShadowWalker's gonna tell us,
There's the Titans. There's something in here. Was this the play? 3,500 gold, a heal pot, a iron bucket, and an iron gauntlet. There's absolutely nothing. He's in the area of Earth Cave, but he's leaving it. Our runners won't. It's like the plague.
Is he gonna check out Mirage? No, he's gonna. He hasn't even been to any of these Cardia.
Right, Cardia Islands, yeah. He's digging for a loose item. He's definitely adjusting. He's saying, okay, I gotta check I can't put this off any longer. He's gonna try it, use his warp, do everything as efficiently and as fast as he possibly can. He's got the tail. I don't know if he's gonna class change. But FizzleBeef made that move. I don't think ShadowWalker's going.
So it's true on paper, ShadowWalker is 2 orbs ahead, but Beef, if he has the momentum and he's able to, at some point, start go-moding, and he does those 2 orbs much faster than Shadow, then, you know, anything can happen. Beef checking out the Sky Palace. Hello, Medusas. And ShadowWalker is going to follow him up.
Yep, same dungeon. If the rod is not in the floating fortress, LordFizzlebeef's next play is the Sea Shrine, which ShadowWalker has done like 90% of. That could potentially be the difference in this match, but we'd have to get there.
Yeah, unless... I think that Beef's big gamble would be just deciding, I'm going to see if it's in the vampire chest or another chest in Earth Cave. If he does that and it turns out to be there, that would be huge, because he'd be able to just fly.
3 Medusas with Glance as a skill and Ice 2 as a spell. FizzleBeef survives it, weathers the storm, and takes him out. I've got to think both players feel behind as well with that rough early game, Cat Doctor. We've been through this. We've had those rough early games, and we think that we're way behind, and sometimes we're even in the lead. But we're not usually as far behind, as you feel, but you can't help but think you are.
Yeah, especially with so many of the things that made it rough for them. We've got a ship in a box here in the Sky Palace. So many of the things that made it rough for them were RNG based, just getting the wrong encounters, and it just makes you question everything from then on. You're constantly looking at the clock, looking at the at what your race partner has done, your rival, and just looking for that done.
Okay, we believe we've narrowed down what is loose in this match. What it is that we are missing, essentially, is an incentivized ribbon, the rod, the TNT, and the bottle. The bottle will more than likely be one of the loose items that will lead to something like the rod or the ribbon, whereas the other one will be loose. So that is what we're looking at as far as progression and what it is that's really holding our players back from attempting to execute their game and finish this out right here on Speed Gaming tonight. The Midnight Special! Development team, great developer, lead developer, Cat Doctor from across the pond. Joining you alongside the infectious Wookleosis. I'm here. We got Zardia in the background, our leader, as well, taking care of everything. Thank you for everything that you do. And thank you to Speed Gaming for bringing us into the home of the fans here late night. We haven't done this since October, Cat Doctor. We kind of been talking about it. We're finally able to get together, me and you, and these 2 players, and along with a whole host of others, by the way, wanted in, they were the first there, and here's their stage, and we're having a blast tonight here on Speed Gaming.
Absolutely. The Midnight Express doesn't stop for anything. I have to correct you on the developer status. I'm definitely not the lead developer or a lead developer.
You're with me, buddy.
I'm
on the development team. You do a heck of a lot more than I do, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I just want to give credit to the rest of the development team. I help out when I can, but those guys are fantastic, and that's why we have
the great
show that we have.
I believe Septimus. I know Septimus was with us for a little while. He did some great work in some alpha builds. We actually did some testing earlier tonight on some of the work that Septimus did. We certainly thank you for that. We've got the Nitzes. We did some co-op work that was done by Meridian BC of our development team. And they're all amazing, and certainly, obviously, Trope. The man who started it all, and Trope are always a pleasure when we get to see you. And an honor to play your game. As there's the loose ship is found from ShadowWalker, and it's the Star Room. This is a room that I like to skip. I like to do the floor after this and come back and do this because it takes so long. See if I could find what I'm looking for, but given that there's all this loose out there, I can certainly understand why I would attempt to clear this at this point in time.
Yeah, and there was a black shirt in there alongside the ship chest, so it's always nice to have. You can put that on your favorite black mage. All sorts of XP in here from these encounters. Sky Palace is a good place to get a few extra levels.
Dual 4 Manticore fights for these opponents tonight. 1 hour 22 minutes. It looks like LordFizzlebeef. Did he just do the one side? Going south, it looks like? He's going to jump ahead and do a kind of a hybrid strategy, I believe. Jump ahead, get this more dense chest, and he finds absolutely nothing. Finds an Excalibur. He can't use that. 2 gold. How about at the top? 4 chests up here. Is there a bottle? Maybe a dynamite. Find out.
Chat
both
pointing
sides?
out, it looks like, yeah,
Okay.
Beef did everything on the lower floor, and he's using warp to save himself some steps up here, which is always a smart move when he can.
Alright, thank you, CC. Didn't quite
Star
catch it.
points
Thank you.
out veteran move.
Gold bracelet. There's the crown. Oops, forgot about that one. So that's 2. That's 2 loose items of the 3 located in the floating fortress. The crown could lead to the rod, bottle, dynamite, ribbon. Something in that area. We've only found 1 ribbon so far. It was found by ShadowWalker. It's in the Volcano. LordFizzlebeef closing in. There's the dynamite. Well, there they are, Cat Doc. There's all 3 of them. We've got all the pieces. We just got to kind of put the pieces together, but at least we found them. We found there was some under the couch. I saw a couple under the refrigerator. Somewhere in the bathroom. But we've got all the pieces. ShadowWalker's going to put those together real quick as well.
You just glue them together, and you got yourself a rod. Don't ask me how the physics of that work. I mean, dynamite is kind of rod-like, and then,
it's the ambush. It's the ambush from the Man-Cats. They aren't going to do the damage that they did to LordFizzlebeef the first time they met. Let's see if he runs. He is going to run. He's not going to take out anything on him from what they did to him earlier. Speed Gaming fans and Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, both players, but right now it's LordFizzlebeef closing in on the Bridge of Destiny. You know what's on the Bridge of Destiny, fans. Cat Doctor wants to see it. I want to see it. You're going to have to get your Bless RNGs out if you want to see the big tin can, the destruction machine. Warmac could be coming up for either player. Here we go. Bridge of Destiny time. LordFizzlebeef walks there, immediately moves the defense sword over, and he's preparing potentially for that fight. Look at him, full heal. Just in case, should your bless RNGs from Zardia, Crab Cakes, and Noctis get answered? Not quite yet. It's unrunnable sorcerers and a Mudgall right now. He's going to take the fight.
That's not an encounter that's going to give him any trouble at all. And he makes the whole run with just another one of these Mudgall and Sorcerer. No,
yeah, it's
big
one of the
deal.
It's one of the highest encounter floors really in the game. LordFizzlebeef made it look easy. The tide's turned a little bit. 1 hour, 25 minutes. We'll see. About to take on Tiamat 2 to try to light his first orb, mind you. He's going to fire Brack.
And coming out of here, he's going to have a whole set of items, though, to make potentially a ton of speed. And he takes out Tiamat like no problem.
Yeah, just like that. Brack. Fizzlebeef fired his back, broken into pieces, took out Tiamat. That's 1 orb for LordFizzlebeef, still 2 for ShadowWalker. He's closing in on his 3rd. He's also closing in on his crown. Dynamite find as well.
And we're going to see what happens when you turn in these items over here. He's going to first stop off and drop off the crown.
There's the bottle. That's going to lead to either the rod or a ribbon. Or, yeah. And then the TNT will lead to the other one. Either a rod or ribbon.
Is this the momentum that Beef has been looking for?
I've got to think that it is. It's late, but better late than never. Hooray! Hooray, kids here in chat. Hooray! The Hooray Dwarf from LordFizzlebeef. A favorite among the Final Fantasy Randomizer community.
Definitely the best NPC in the game. And here's the rod.
The rod pickup from turning in the TNT. Looks like turning in the bottle to the fairy, a tiny fairy, actually. In the city of Gaia will yield a ribbon. LordFizzlebeef has probably done that from the process of elimination. That's going to be optional at this point in time. ShadowWalker's closing in on the Bridge of Destiny. He's healing up already in preparation for a potential fight with the War Machine Warmac. He's on the bridge. He's on a different encounter table. He gets a quick encounter with Red Hydras. Warmac is very possible here. We got Neon Gray in chat, Cat Doctor. Neon Gray wants nachos.
Everybody wants nachos. They are one of the best options in terms of things you can chow down on. And it looks like Beef is not go-moding Volcano.
He's gonna. He did. I remember the match last year. Me and LordFizzlebeef had a knockdown drag out in the 2018 spring tournament. He skipped the armory, and inside the armory was something called the Power Gauntlet. He could not get through the end game. He was there first, and I was able to, based upon the fact that I had the Power Gauntlet. I don't know whether or not that has a factor that has ever scarred him, that he's never going to skip the armory again, but he's got to feel ready to go, although he doesn't have any ribbons.
Just threw out the Brack against Tiamat, who went down in 1 hit again. So Beef didn't gain any time there, and he's digging through armory chests.
Yeah, he's looking for a ribbon, potentially the Mazmoon. We know where the Mazmoon is, but I don't think he's going to find that. I don't think he's going to go towards the mermaids. But it wouldn't have surprised me had LordFizzlebeef skipped this. I've seen him do it many times.
I'm hoping what he does here is just head down to the next floor and get going, because he can. It's the right move. A ribbon's nice, but he's got the one, and he can pick up the other one.
Right. You got to have a ribbon for your white mage or white wizard, and based upon the way this game has gone, the black belt master should be built for durability at this point. I've got to think that that might be the strategy. one fine day asking in chat, what is he looking for? I'm not sure. Is it the Mazmoon? Is it a Power Gauntlet or Ribbon? Is it any one of the three? I'm not sure. This surprises me. ShadowWalker has entered the Earth Cave. 90-minute mark. On his way to try to light his 4th orb. LordFizzlebeef, we'll see if he stops off to check chests. He's looking for his 2nd orb.
And it doesn't look like ShadowWalker is stopping for any chests at this point.
No,
so
he's not going to do that.
His green light is on.
Unrunnable wolf pack. ShadowWalker fires out a fade, takes him out. He is on his horse and he is going. We think that both players feel behind because of rough early games. Gotta think that maybe that's a factor here. Fizzlebeef still checking chests. There's something in this room. It's, ribbon. There it is. Does he leave? Does he check this room and get going?
Let's see what happens here. Is he gonna hit the gas?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
He's satisfied. He'll check this when he did. Forget it. Fizzlebeef says no.
He is on the move.
Okay, this is what we expected. Apparently it was the ribbon. Whether it was a ribbon exactly, or, you know, one of the three, whether it was the Power Gauntlet or something like that, I don't know. But he's got what he wants, so he's going to get going. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker is already in 5th gear. He's taking on, who's he what was that?
Oh, that's just a glitch that appears occasionally.
Glitch? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the guy to ask yourself, a Septimus.
We're working on that. We've been working on
yeah.
that one for a long time.
On that one, okay. All right. ShadowWalker closing in on the Fiend of Earth. LordFizzlebeef with 2 orbs lit. He's going for his 3rd. He's entering the Earth Cave now. 1 hour, 32 minutes of the midnight special right here on Speed Gaming. Developer Cat Doctor getting together once again with the infectious Wilkliosis. This is the 2nd time we've done one of these shows. Cat Doctor, what a great match we had last time. Remember Will Bloodworth and Demon Frog when they went at it? Oh, was that fun.
That was definitely the best way to start off the Midnight Special Series. Midnight Express. Midnight,
yes.
Whatever we feel like calling it today.
We had the old, NWA tag team, the Midnight Express. I love it. So fans, let us know out there whether you're part of the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, whether you watch, whether it's casual, whether you participate on your own. Is this something that you want to see? Is it these later night shows? We're talking midnight over on the Pacific time zone in the West Coast, 2 to 3 a.m. on the East Coast in the United States area, of course. We need to know. Is this more of what you want? If you're watching on YouTube, on a replay like I used to watch, where I learned this game, put it in the comments. Let us know. Say, hey, Will, you know, I'd love to see it. I don't watch it live, but I just want more content, if that's what you want. But let us know. And myself and Cat Doctor will get together. We've got Zardia here as well. He's usually up doing work for Final Fantasy Randomizer late at night. Is this something that you want? We need to know. Speaking of wanting, 1 hour, we're going to call it the 34-minute mark. ShadowWalker227 has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, he absolutely blew past Lich, as you expect, at the end of Earth Cave. And he immediately went right over to Temple of Fiends Revisited, not even stopping to pick up a few more items, a little bit more potions in the store. He's just done. He's good. He's ready to go. And got some mage to fighter fights. Huge XP here. Always good if you've got the opportunity to grab those. And Beef is heading out through the Earth Cave, and he's gonna hit his Lich fight just in a little bit. Now, Beef, after he takes out Lich, he's gonna have 3 orbs. He still needs to head through Sea Shrine, but you can do Sea Shrine if you're going through it at max speed. You've got all your items. You don't have to stop for anything. You can do that pretty quickly.
Yeah, and if you do the math, maybe 4 minutes. And if you do the math of what he's doing now to where ShadowWalker is, if ShadowWalker gets to a team at 2 type scenario and he can't get it done, buckle your seatbelts, because they're going to intersect and potentially converge if ShadowWalker can't finish this game out right here on this dive.
Yeah, a big wipe will definitely even out the playing field. Shadow had a fairly easy walk so far. And I blinked, and Beef took out Lich, so not much stopping him there.
Who?
Never mind, that's another glitch we're working on.
Another glitch? That happens. The game's old.
Yeah.
1987.
Beef checking out the level 7 spells, picking up Quad X. He's got almost a spell at every level at this point. And he is rushing. And ShadowWalker says hi to Lich number 2. Not even using any magic on him, just beats him up.
No respect.
Shadow's on the fire floor.
LordFizzlebeef starting to fly through, trying to light his 4th orb. These 2 routes converge, or can ShadowWalker finish this? Pretty impressive time into the Temple of Fiends revisited on the fire floor. 1 hour 37 minutes with all that turbulence and all those big waves essentially that we had here. The title of the 2019 Spring Tournament, Sail the High Seas. We didn't see a lot of sailing, but there was some rough waters, rough air everywhere, essentially in this entire match.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to have really slowed down ShadowWalker much at all. He made some excellent calls and has been executing extremely well, so looks like he's going to be running into Carry 2 in just a minute.
Taking the Agama fight. Getting quick work of him. There's Jim with a big punch. That's 6 hits from that black belt.
He's probably feeling a little bit like it would be nice to be at a slightly higher level.
Where's the black belt? Because he's under 32. He's getting 6 hits. Is he trying to get the black belt to 32?
It's a long way. I mean...
I missed. He's too fast. Czar, can you see where he is? I can't tell.
I was thinking he was still in the 20s there, but
31?
It looked like 31 to me, yeah. Crab
That's what he's doing then.
Says 31.
There it is. He takes out Carrie, absolutely demolishes her, and he gets 32 on his black belt. That's what he wanted. He'll get 8 hits out of that black belt now. Very well done from ShadowWalker.
Yeah, that's huge, and barely having to dip into magic for either of these 2 first fiends. So you just gotta get through the water floor, say hello to Kraken, and then we'll find out what Kraken 2 has in store.
It's vital that ShadowWalker keeps his White Mage alive. White Mage houses a little spell. It's called Life 2.
Was that 0 encounters on the water floor?
That was nothing. ShadowWalker just flying through. Kraken 2 on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, Kraken 1. ShadowWalker fires a fade to Kraken 2. He hits real good. 304, 294. Kraken's not having it, no. That's a nuke. The leveling, though, look at the HP on the White Mage, 268. The White Mage still standing strong. After a nuke from Kraken, ShadowWalker lost no warriors. There's a strike from the Black Belt. Oh, no! Another nuke from Kraken 2 took out 2 warriors, but ShadowWalker fights back with a fade and takes out Kraken 2. That was potential disaster, Cat Doctor, but ShadowWalker was prepared.
Those levels on that white mage really paid off. Having a white shirt on there.
Kraken 1, meanwhile, is giving it to FizzleBeef. He's down to 2 warriors. There's a fade for 214. Kraken misses FizzleBeef after the defense, and now FizzleBeef's going to attack. There's a fade, 299's good. Lord FizzleBeef's about to light his 4th orb. As scary as that was, Cat Doctor, that's 2 of the 3 nukes out of the pool. You gotta be feeling good, knowing that your opponent hasn't finished and 2 nukes at least are gone.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to what Time at 2 has, and what Chaos has, and generally, I'm more worried about Time at 2 than I am about Chaos, to be honest.
I am too, usually. A couple spells that are still out there. There is a nuke out there. There's 4 nuclears in the pool. If Slow 2 comes out, non-elemental Slow 2 comes out from one of these fiends, and it goes after Jim, the Black Belt, ShadowWalker's in big trouble. He's also got Cure 4 potentially in there. A well-timed Cure 4 can ruin a lot of runs. Believe me, I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, it looks like Shadow is definitely well set for this TIE fight.
Tiamat 2 for ShadowWalker. Standing in the way between ShadowWalker and potential victory. Tiamat 2 gets initiative and attacks and only 200 damage into the Black Mage. Black Mage is down on 1 knee, but is still alive. Gets a nuke off. 143, there's a fade. 160, been resisted by Tiamat. He's gonna continue the assault. Nukes and fades and attack from the Black Belt. There's the fade. 123, it's resisted again. How about the Black Belt? 2 hits, 73 damage, Cat Doctor. That's alarm bells.
That's not what you want to see in Blizzard coming out, taking out the Black Mage, but you've got so much magic pouring out at this point. Nukes, fades, Massa on the White Mage, and yeah, that takes Tiamat out.
ShadowWalker adjusts and makes it look easy. Lord FizzleBeef is turning in the bottle. He's going to get his 2nd ribbon. More fights for ShadowWalker. Again, this is a high encounter floor. He's fought these vampires before. He's going to take the fight again. He should be careful with that White Mage. Fade gets off and essentially clears out the vampires. He's looking good. Mazmoon on the White Mage. Black Belt's on the ropes, but ShadowWalker gets through.
Now, at this point, if I remember correctly, ShadowWalker only has the 1 ribbon, so...
He does.
As long as Chaos doesn't have something that makes that 2nd ribbon necessary, he should be all good here.
I mean, there's a couple different spells and skills in the pool. Crack, Bane, the aforementioned Slow 2. There's 4. Let's find out. 1 hour, 43 minutes. ShadowWalker only has 1 HP on his... No, he doesn't. Okay, that was a level. Sacrificial Lamb, the Black Mage, is up in the top slot. He's got the Black Belt in the 3rd slot. That's for a last-ditch effort for a potential RNG loop. ShadowWalker already planning for that. He's going to be able to get off a white shirt, some Invis 2s as well. He uses the white shirt on his damage dealer. From his Black Belt, he gets it off, and another Invis 2. And a wall.
That's a smart move. He's getting everything well set up. Chaos didn't come up with anything terrifying.
He hit pretty hard after 2 Invis 2 stacks into the White Mage. He went after the healer. There's another Invis 2 stack. ShadowWalker playing very defensively. There's the Bane! We talked about it. It's got 2 warriors down. 2 warriors already gone. Poison Smoke. And he's down to his 2 main light warriors that he's fought this entire match with. It's the Black Belt and the White Mage against Chaos for ShadowWalker. That's 6 Invis 2 casts. He now has max evasion. Chaos can't touch him. ShadowWalker begins the assault. 8 hits, 321, and a fade. The fade hits for 80. It gets resisted. Chaos has fast. Good thing he's got that evasion up. Chaos misses. Another attack from ShadowWalker. 133. Another fade from ShadowWalker154. That gets resisted as well. An attack from ShadowWalker and his black belt. 8 hits, only 122. 116 from Fade. A rub from Chaos is nothing. That's another spell. What else does Chaos have in the toolkit? 7 hits for 240. Looks like Chaos likes to punch, Cat Doctor. That's good.
Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking very good for a Shadow.
7 hits for 316. 3 hits, 3 damage? 7 hits for 90. It's going down. Lightning 2. He's going to attack with the Mazmoon. 194. Huge hit from the Mazmoon. 314. ShadowWalker's back on track. Chaos is on the ropes. 315. Quadex isn't going to do it. Does the Mazmoon do it? No. 3 hits, 3 damage. Another attack from the Mazmoon. That's not going to do it. Oh my! Chaos got through the max evasion! It killed the white mage! The white mage is gone! It's one-on-one! It's Chaos against the black belt! ShadowWalker! ShadowWalker for 620! It's not good! Chaos attacks again, but he misses! Does ShadowWalker do it? 394 is good! ShadowWalker takes the midnight special! 1 hour, 45 minutes, 48 seconds! Guys, get out your genies and congratulate it! Wow!
Absolutely. What a clutch victory. Right down to the line. And Shadow just had everything organized exactly the way he needed to do it. Like, he is a pro, which he is.
ShadowWalker had the max evasion up. He played it perfectly. And then Chaos reached through all that evasion and smashed the White Wizard, and the White Wizard went down. And ShadowWalker's heart had to skip a beat right there, and he had to be like, oh no. Because he has to know his opponents in the Temple of Fiends are visited. His opponent is. It's LordFizzlebeef, of all people. I mean, you know he's there. ShadowWalker, with all his preparation, played very, very well. I've got to think that this exhibition, with all that turbulence that we saw, and the way that ShadowWalker prepared, how he was able to get through a double nuke Kraken 2, get this done even through the max evasion punch from Chaos. Very impressive victory. Congratulations to our victor, who has just stepped into the broadcast booth. Congratulations, ShadowWalker.
Thanks. That was a seed.
Absolutely.
I felt like I was behind.
Yeah, well, you weren't. Beef is in tow right now, and he's on the Earth floor. But that's after scrabbling his way up from a huge deficit early on in Marsh Cave, which actually didn't serve any problem to you at all.
Yeah, and I should have better prepared for Marsh. If I had actually gone over to Provoca and saw that it was Provoca and it had nuke for me, that would have been really nice.
Yeah, Provoca was huge, and both you and Beef went left instead of right, and that set the whole early game. Which is pretty tough. So yeah, how did you feel about all of the different things that stood in your way in the early game there? Like, did you feel like you were behind from the first second, or what was the first thing where you were like, oh god?
I didn't think I was behind until I saw Nuke and Provoca. Once I saw that Nuke was at Provoca, and I was like, man, it took me 20 minutes to come over here and find the freest Nuke spell ever. That's the point where I really felt like, man, now I'm behind the 8-ball and I gotta go. I gambled on following the Adamant, which did lead to the Floater, but the other half of that was getting the Canoe, which was over at Provoca, so it worked out in the end. The biggest part was trying to get some EXP on that black belt. He did not want to get much EXP. And it wasn't until I finally got through ice and was doing my eye grind that things really started turning around.
Yeah, well, picking up that Mazmoon before you got to do that was also huge. That was a big find, and Beef still doesn't have Mazmoon, so that's definitely something that made your grind way faster.
That was in Volcano. Why didn't he pick that up?
Mermaids, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Mermaids. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, Beef now on the water floor, and you didn't have any in floor, which was very nice. Beef's got 5 waters at the moment, so less nice.
Yeah, hard reset before Topher made it a really pleasant dive, actually. I took a couple of the mage fighter combos just to get myself up to level 32 before I started hitting the hard bosses. But it was a rather trivial dive up until air floor. Air floor made me worry a little bit. I had, all those vampires and whatnot. But I think the real thing that I was cautious of, when I did my grind, I did a 2-man grind with the white mage and the black belt, and I considered not doing a 2-man grind. And that double nuke on Kraken made me really glad that I stuck to my guns.
Speaking of Kraken 2, Lord Fizzlebeef is preparing for a fight with a double nuke, double shot Kraken 2. ShadowWalker got through. He did the same thing. Both players did the same thing, taking out the eye for levels on 2 warriors. There's the nuke right now. And he lost the black wizard. The white mage is down on 1 knee with 86 HP. Lord Fizzlebeef thinks he can get out of this. He's not going to heal. Oh boy. Fires a fade for 143. There's the second nuke from Kraken 2. Fizzlebeef perishes.
Oof.
Fizzlebeef finds out what ShadowWalker did, but he could not get through. He's going to go ahead and re-enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Pull me under! I'm not afraid, says Lord Fizzlebeef. ShadowWalker, would you believe that you were the first to actually get to the original Provoca, which ended up being shuffled to the new Provoca?
I mean, I would not have guessed that. I can only imagine Fizzle had a bunch of trouble in Marsh, which I didn't particularly see anything bad, but I know it was just that I didn't see it. I know Marsh had something.
Yeah, there were ambushing, I think they were ambushing wizards with nuke or blizzard or some combination of terrible things that I think Beef wiped 6 or 7 times in Marsh. It was just completely rough. And that was pretty bad. So there was a lot of talk. Wilkliosis and I were talking a lot about loose items and where is this, where is that. Were you going through a lot of that in your mind as you were flying through?
So I'll be honest, I really have not prepared enough for this flag set. I didn't know exactly how many loose key items there were. I was expecting 2, and then I saw what I thought was 3, because I saw the ship, the TNT, and the crown. So I was caught a little bit off guard there.
Yeah, so the king giving out cabin early on meant that there was 1 extra loose item, and doing the math on that, I know probably trying to do that in my head while on a newish flag set while playing, I think I would have been in the same boat, just kind of caught off guard and not entirely knowing. But it seems like you were pretty hell-bent on doing full clears for a lot of stuff. So
up until Mirage Sky, I didn't see a single loose item, so I pretty much had to. I just got really lucky that they were all in Sky.
Yeah, it really seemed to work out. So Beef now, just finishing up Earth again.
ShadowWalker, you did something very subtle. We were able to catch it. And I'm assuming this is what you're doing. I wanted to double check. You were on the fire floor, which is where Lord Fizzlebeef is right now. You were closing in on Carrie. You've already said you felt behind. How could you not? Number 1, did you think that Fizzlebeef was ahead of you in the Temple of Fiends Revisited and maybe ran into some trouble? And number 2, is that why you took the Agama fights to get your black belt to that coveted level 32 spot?
I thought Fizzlebeef was ahead of me. I thought he was already at Topher by the time I got to Topher. The reason I was taking the fights was to try and get to level 32. Banking on him being ahead meant that I needed something that was going to trip him up. So, in a roundabout sense, even though he wasn't ahead of me, yes, that was kind of my logic.
Gary is eliminated from LordFizzlebeef. He's traversed this Temple of Fiends Revisited very fast. If he hard reset, he won't get any encounters on the water floor. He didn't get that water encounter, and he's starting to fly through here, so it looks like he is not on the encounter table that ShadowWalker was on.
This was a very weird encounter table, too. It kind of alternated between giving you no fights for a good long run, and then you got just spammed with fights.
LordFizzlebeef closing in on Kraken 2. He's got the information. Kraken 2 is spell happy, and he's packing. It is dual nuke shots from Kraken 2. LordFizzlebeef knows to probably heal that White Wizard afterwards. He did his classic strategy of attack, a dead enemy can't hurt you. And that's what LordFizzlebeef does, and his success has really shown it. But he might need to adjust this time.
Here's Kraken 2. And we'll see how this goes if he's a little bit more defensive, but it looks like he is fully...
191. 100. Another nuke shot, 322. That hits really good. And he gets a perfect initiative of 49. Kraken 2 fires back that nuke right off again. There goes the Black Wizard. He got a better roll. His White Wizard's at 181. Fires again a nuke. Oh no, another nuke. Kraken 2. He's down to the Black Belt. He's down to the Master, 234. He's got one warrior standing. Behind that was Stun. 2 hits, 73 damage from the Master. LordFizzlebeef continues the assault. 354 is good. He's not giving up. It's time. What do you got, LordFizzlebeef? Can you do this? He's got Defense Sword, I believe. Yes, he does. He's got Heal Pots. He's going to continue on. He considers taking this fight. He does not. He's at level 32. LordFizzlebeef has made it to the Echo of the Floating Castle. He's got one warrior left. We're playing for pride. Right here. Midnight Special. Cat Doctor. Wilcleosis. We've got our winner, ShadowWalker, joining us as well. Zardia in the background, and all the Final Fantasy Randomizer fans and all the Speed Gaming fans cheering on LordFizzlebeef and his master. Quad-X is no good into Tiamat. Blizzard only hits for 32. Max evasion for LordFizzlebeef. He better hope he's got that as soon as he can against Chaos, because he will reach through it and he will smash you like he did to ShadowWalker. 72 damage. Fire 3 from Tiamat 2. Tiamat starts to miss. LordFizzlebeef starts to take control. 188 from the Master. Another big punch from LordFizzlebeef. 2 hits, 2 damage. Not very big. 108. Nuclear. There's a nuclear skill from Tiamat 2. 328 HP. Fizzlebeef attacks again. 98. Free round from Ink. Get him, Fizzlebeef. 218's not enough. But Tiamat 2 continues to miss. Fizzlebeef 149. Tickle damage from Tiamat 2 from Fire 2. Fizzlebeef attacks again, only 7 damage. This fight's going on and on. LordFizzlebeef gaining traction slowly and surely. 155. 224. There's Inferno. That's Elemental. That's Fire Elemental he's protected from. He's down to 215. Continues to attack. There's 79. 77. Ice 3. LordFizzlebeef's getting low. He's down to 163. In his mad mode, he's down to 17. There's Blizzard. That's Elemental. He's down to 1 knee. Down to 85. LordFizzlebeef with 217 from the Master. And his Cowboy makes it happen. At the same time, he gets to level 32 on his Master. As he begins to heal, he steps away from Chaos now.
That is pretty ridiculous to see. Of course, people do solo black belt strats pretty often, but he's at the lower level. He's not really set up for this, and he's really going to have to cross his fingers here for Chaos. But
he needs turn order. He's going to the 4th slot, not the 3rd. Directly to the defense sword. He needs turn order. He does not get it. 119. He gets a 2nd defense off before Chaos can attack. Chaos misses the 2nd shot. There's the 3rd defense. Good enough turn order for LordFizzlebeef. Cat Doctor, can you see the show?
I can't. It looks like we've got some kind of issue here, which is not what you want to see at this late point.
Okay, fans, hang with us. We're working on it. He got his 3 defense swords off. I can hear the audio.
Okay,
We're back.
here we
Lord
go.
Fizzlebeef for 172. He's down to 486. It's Lord Fizzlebeef and his master. His name is Punch. 8 hits, 8 damage. Lord Fizzlebeef attacks again. 8 hits for 154. Can Lord Fizzlebeef and his cowboy make this happen? His single light warrior on this journey. 146. 94 after 8 hits. That level 32 not really making much of a difference. 8 hits, 8 damage. Misses from Chaos. Another strike from the Master. He gets through. Critical hit, 213. Another Lightning 2 from Chaos. Can Fizzlebeef finish this? 7 hits, 7 damage. This is an absolute war. Lord Fizzlebeef and Chaos. 8 hits for 73. Chaos continues to miss, but we know he got through. He got ShadowWalker and took out his max evasion Light Warrior. Can he do it again? Does he end Lord Fizzlebeef? Not yet. His zap misses. He cannot exile Fizzle. 176. Again, Lord Fizzlebeef attacks. 8 hits, 8 damage. There's the Bane. Poison Smoke isn't good. There's the Fast. Oh boy. 113 from Fizzlebeef. Fizzlebeef must make this happen. 172. Chaos misses. Another attack from the Master. 8 hits. Not a good. No. 8 damage. No. This fight's going on and on and on. But 417. Lord Fizzlebeef starting to break through with a critical hit. 154. 8 hits, 8 damage. The longer this fight goes, the more it favors the Ultimate Fiend. But Chaos continues to physically try to get Lord Fizzlebeef, but he can't touch him. 8 hits, 8 damage, another Lightning 2. Lord Fizzlebeef's down to 363. There's Lightning 3 down around 300. 243 from Fizzlebeef. Starting to rock Chaos, starting to take control of this fight. 187, Fizzlebeef continues the assault. Again from the Master, 87. Chaos can hit him, you can't touch Fizzlebeef. 8 hits, 8 damage from the Master, no. Can he break through? Is this critical? It is, 200. Bane is no good. Is this gonna do it? 75 is not enough. Lord Fizzlebeef, Chaos is just running all over the place, doing everything he can. 92. Chaos misses again. Is this it? 97 is not. Chaos misses again. Is this it? 113 from Lord Fizzlebeef's Cowboy of a Master with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Jack, get out your GGs and congratulate Lord Fizzlebeef. He said, pull me under, I'm not afraid, I'm going in and I'm going to finish this. I'm going to take out this double nuke Kraken 2, and I'm going to take out this Chaos, and he did it. So GG's and congratulations to Lord Fizzlebeef. Right here, second place, turning up Final Fantasy Randomizer for the Midnight Special.
And it definitely is special to see Fizzlebeef with that kind of victory at the end, or victory. I'm saying it's a victory because it's a moral victory. He absolutely destroyed Chaos with that one black belt. That's pretty awesome, Will.
Speaking
GG
of Lord
Fizzle.
Fizzlebeef. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say GG Fizzle. That was rough.
Yeah. I don't even have any words. I had to grab a blanket like halfway through the run because I got like tired mad and then I got cold.
So what was the final trigger that pushed you over the edge of getting mad? Because I would have been mad from the Marsh cave on.
I mean, I was willing to write off Marsh Cave because the correct path seemed like such a long shot that I didn't think that Shadow was necessarily going to take it. But I'm glad I didn't stick around or loop back to try and check the rest of those chests. Like the single thing that went right for me in this entire run is when I decided to do Mirage Sky, hoping for loose items, and found all 3 of them.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. Go ahead, Shadow.
The loose items in Sky were very, very nice. I had so many key items that I still needed. I still needed like two rod and chime or something. I don't know. But I was like digging through ordeals and ice and trying everything, and then finally got the chime and was able to go into Sky and saw all the key items there, and I was like, okay, now it's time to go.
Right. I ended up opening more boxes because I wanted a second ribbon, thinking that a ribbon would save me in Topher. Yep.
Yeah, so to catch both of you up, you both went left out of Canaria and went around. But by the time you both went into Marsh, Beef went directly to Marsh and continually ran into wizards from hell that made his time very long there. ShadowWalker did a single dive, got what he needed, got out, which was the key. ShadowWalker made his way up clockwise over to eventually getting the airship, and then we were kind of off to the races for ShadowWalker. And Shadow, if I remember correctly, you went directly to Volcano and poked through there. Ended up skipping the Red Dragon chest, but you had a pretty clutch victory against Carrie, which I think gave you some pretty good early momentum.
Yeah, I was only level 6, level 7 when I killed Carrie, so I was definitely not going to bother with the Red Dragon chest.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, one of your warriors was down, and you found the wizard staff.
Yeah, I got a really nice first turn confuse on Carrie.
Yeah, that was huge. And then eventually things started getting a little bit closer, things like that. Shadow, you had a pretty strong lead up at the beginning with 2 orbs. But then you ran into some trouble in the ice cave. I don't exactly remember what happened there, but I know that you had to abort out of that whole thing and just cut your losses.
I mean, what didn't happen in Ice Cave? There were poison sorcerers, there were the mummies had something. Blizzard. Yeah, Blizzard.
I know.
And I think they also had Sleep Touch?
I don't know if they had Sleep Touch, but I know they had Blizzard because I felt like I was behind early. So I went to Ordeals to hit the mummy tile to grind and ate a turn 1 first action Blizzard.
Yeah.
Not to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that point, you both had faced a fair number of setbacks and things like that. So it started actually over time eating up quite a bit. Like Beef, you made up quite a ton of time. And so by the time ShadowWalker was finishing up in Topher, you were actually not that far behind. Mm-hmm. And I really thought it could have gone either way, especially trying to figure out where Rod was or where the loose items were and sorting out what to do after that. Because it just seemed like everything was all over the place.
Oh, heck, even if I'd just taken some worse rolls from the double nuke, which I did see, by the way. Fortunately, my white mage had just enough HP to survive, as she was already level 32.
Yeah, you got 2 nukes, and your white mage survived with, 15 HP, something like that?
Not much.
Yeah.
It was very close.
You know what needs a white mage?
You know what's very interesting is that, and we discussed it at the time, FizzleBeef, you were the first to do it, followed by ShadowWalker. You both went after the eye, and you both did 2 light warriors when you wanted to take out the eye and get some momentum, get some levels, spell charges, HP. You both chose to do the Black Belt Master and the White Mage, White Wizard. I'd like to start with FizzleBeef. Reasons for keeping the White Mage.
Exit.
ShadowWalker?
I had always intended for the White Mage to be my Mazmune wielder. She had Ruse, and I'd already found Mazmune by the time I started my grind. So between Exit, Life 2, Ruse, Cure 4, Fade, she was always going to be my one for the 2-man grind.
Hold up. Where was Mazza?
Mermaids.
Alright, I was probably never going to check that anyway.
I was in
Yeah.
full clear mode since I didn't see any key items.
ShadowWalker. The Midnight Special. You were the first to call. You came right to me. I want in. What do you think of the format and the idea that we are thinking of bringing back and doing more of?
I like it. I like these one-off 1v1 hype races. I think it's good for the community, good for the spectators. They're a ton of fun. Glad that it was a great match. Fizzle's a great opponent, and I had mentioned multiple times I thought I was behind the whole way, so definitely this one could have gone either way.
FizzleBeef as well, thank you for joining us as well. What do you think of the Midnight Madness? You're on the West Coast over there, and I mean, you don't get this at your time. Is this exciting for you? Do you like it?
It's definitely exciting. The bits I remember, I hit a Marsh Cave wave of rage turned into wave of exhaustion, and I just kind of rode the tired all the way through this. So, I mean, I'm staring at a completion screen, but there's a lot of gaps in there that I cannot tell you about.
Oh, Cat Doctor, we did it again. Midnight
Absolutely.
Special. The first match was outstanding. This match, 2 strong players going into the 2019 Spring Tournament. Absolute pleasure to work with you, my friend, and I think we might have to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I think this is going to come back, and hopefully we can get more runners for this that are as good quality and skill as these gentlemen.
Yeah, they're a lot better than me. We'll stick to the booth. You know, yeah. Right now, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here in just a moment. We want to remind you that the spring tournament starts April 6th. It's a Saturday. Sign-ups, they're open right now. I've signed up. I signed up like 3 weeks ago. Can't wait to play and run into these 2 yahoos and have them stop me. It's going to close April 4th. We're going to have a reveal show on April 5th. We're going to show the matchups. You know, these 2 players could go at it again. Could be matchups that we haven't seen before. Maybe some old rivalries. Zardia, he's here behind the scenes. I can see him right now. Do we lock up again just like last year? Is it me and Cat Doctor? Who knows? We're going to find out then. But that's coming up in just a few weeks. But going on right now, actually, is a tournament called Chaos Rush. ShadowWalker, you have a lot to do with that. It's over on our sister broadcast partner, Randomania, and it's going on right now. Do you want to let the fans know a little bit about that in case they didn't know or maybe have only caught a little bit here and there?
Sure. If you're looking for more Final Fantasy action, we have the Chaos Rush going on, and there's in fact going to be a Chaos Rush match tonight, Saturday, March 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is when that is going to start. We have the last of our round 2 pods. We're wrapping up the round of 16, and we're actually getting into the quarterfinals. So there's some very fast-paced flag sets. You start with a great airship, and as soon as you kill Garland, you can dive Topher. So it's a matter of gearing yourself up and leveling yourself up and throwing caution to the wind. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely check us out.
As we start to wrap up right here on Speed Gaming, we'd like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting us, the Fizzles, Oasis, Mr. Broadstones. Always a pleasure to be here. Tonight was the Midnight Madness, or this morning, wherever in the world it is that you are. And if you're watching potentially on replay, if you're watching from YouTube, once again, that's where I came from. You're interested in playing, you want more information, you want to know what better trap treasure means, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com is the place to go. Have fun with it. Come join us. Always welcome site. We're a great bunch. The water is warm. Come on in. Final thoughts, Lord Fizzlebeef. Any final thoughts? Is it the tournament, tonight's match, the Midnight Special? What are you thinking right now?
I just want to thank you for inviting me to do this Midnight Special. I mean, all kidding aside, I absolutely had a blast tonight. If we could just have the Midnight Special at a better time next time, I would be happy.
We'll have to look into maybe adjusting when midnight is.
Yeah, that sounds good.
There's midnight everywhere, every hour actually. So we'll figure something out. Anything's possible. All right, thanks guys. Great match, great games, and great work. And Will, do you want to take us out?
Once Once again, thank you to Speed Gaming, but most of all, thank you to you, the fans. Without this, we can't put on the Lord Fizzlebeefs against the ShadowWalkers. We cannot put on the Shofukimachis against the Zardias. And I can't come out with my goofy veteran move ideas or whatever else. And Lord Fizzlebeef and his cowboy character. And it's an absolute honor and pleasure for us to be in your homes, whether it's live here on Twitch or whether it's some other day out on YouTube. We don't know. For Cat Doctor, Lord Fizzlebeef, ShadowWalker, Zardia, all the fans that joined us, the crab cakes, the one fine days. My name is Will Cleosis. I am the infectious one. They call me the smooth talker. We'll see you next time on Final Fantasy Randomizer.